Hello, welcome to another video, a new video. This time it's the second outing with the Bronica ETRS. We have got a modification on it this time. We've got the handle with the release and the button. We've got the old bracket on. It sticks out a bit because the cable release sticks out here, and I need to get it good out because we had an issue with the last one, which I'll tell you about later in the video. And yeah, so we went out with that. We were shooting with the Kodak Portra 160, which we've had developed and scans and prints already done for the video. And we went into the Peak District, took the tripod, took the quick release, took the camera, also took my Fuji Insta Square, which I've got some images of as well. It's the first time I've properly used that while being out and about, so got some good images there, which we'll go through later. So what we did, we went over to Surprise View, and we parked in that car park and then went over the road to Owl Tour, where we took a picture of a couple of trees, a couple of rocks. That was nice. Then from there we went over to Stanage Edge and went over to the millstones there, took some pictures, had a walk round. There was a lovely little bench and a nice just scenery view from the road that we took some images of as well, which we'll go through shortly. After that we went over to Bamford Edge, where we did the old picture over Lady Bower, came back down, and that's when my little whoopsie happened. I fell over, and I'll go through that later in the video. The camera survived, cable release didn't, but it's short and long of it really, but we'll go through that in a minute. And then after that we went up to, we was going to go to Mantor, but it was absolutely rammed, so what we did, we went on the top of Winnets Pass, walked over the edge there, took some pictures, did a couple of handheld ones to try it, and then at the end I had 2 images left, and then some cows, so we got some pictures of the cows, which one came out great, one came out really good, but then there's a bit of light leak, but I quite like it, so we'll go through that in a moment. So that's the trip. That's where we've been. So what we'll do is we'll crack on. I've got some B-roll which we'll go through, and then we'll have a chat about the images, how they've come out, how different they are compared to the last video where I weren't happy with them at all. These I'm happy with most of them. So yeah, here are a couple of images from them and my thoughts. Okay, so these are just the images that came out. I don't know if you can see it properly, but let's just put it there, see if you can see it. So that's image number 1. I'll put the proper image on screen. So this is just a JPEG scanned image off DS Color Labs. This was shot f16 at 1/60th of a second. I did focus on the tree. I just wanted to get a bit of blur just to see how it looked, to see what was on. Fairly happy with the actual metering of it. The composition's a bit poor, but yeah, that is image number 1 that came out well. I was happy as a test, not as an actual image that I'd put in a portfolio or anything, but as a test, quite happy with. Here's image number 2, same tree, different viewpoint. We are more lower, we've got more of the tree in, more of the sky in. This was shot at f22 and 1/25th of a second. Quite like this as a better image than the last one. It is a little, I think I like it. It's come out well again. The negatives have come out well. The print, it's okay. What I'd like to do is, when I get my scanner, is actually scan these in myself and see how much colour correction and editing DS Color Labs have done. Going off that, here's a little the Instack I've done of it as well. You can't really see it there, but here's the again, it's not a scanned image, but this is me taking a picture of it with my X-T3 and the 10-24 lens, with it just stuck on the wall, and then I've just edited it a little bit. So there's image number 2. Image number 3, we're now at the other side of that tree, as you can see there. Here's the digital copy. Colours are great on it again. I like the shadows. This one was at f11 at 1/25th of a second. I just like the way the tree looked. I did focus on the tree. It did look quite well. Here's the snapshot from the Instack again, which come out quite well. What I did, I took them with me and then put them in a zip up pocket in my bag to let them develop. Okay, so the next image is, we moved on now to Stranded Edge, but what I did, I passed this bench and I really liked it, so here's the bench now. If you can see it, there's one image of it. I took 2 images of it, so there's the second one again. Here are the images on that have been scanned. The reason I've done 2 is because on my light meter app it said 1/20th of a second. I don't have that. I either have 1/15th or 1/30th on the camera. So what I did, I shot both to see which I prefer. So this is the 1/15th now. It's still okay, but look at the colours are a bit darker than the original, or the 1/30th one. So here's the 1/30th one now, and I prefer this one myself. Let me know what you did. But again, these are just low resolution scans that my lab did for me. I have got a scanner on order, so hopefully that will make them even better and I can get some proper true images out of them going forward on my other videos. Here it is again as a snapshot on my Insta Max Square. So yeah, happy with the way they have come out with those 2 images. So yeah, we will move on to the next one. So this is image number 6. This was just across the road from the bench looking down on the valley. I just like the lights and the colours with the shadows. Here's a digital copy now. As you can see, you've got some nice light green in the front, you've got some dark green with the shadows at the back. I don't know why there's a purple tint in the sky. That definitely wasn't there, so I don't know if that's just the way DS Colour Labs have done the scan. Again, I'd like to see how it comes out when I get my scanner and scan it in myself and then edit it properly myself. So here's a snapshot of it. As you can see, there's no pink in that sky whatsoever. Here's a digital version of that. So the next one after this is I walked up to Millstone Edge, I believe it is, to take some pictures of the millstone. There's the image now. Here's the digital version. With this one, I wanted to see what the bokeh was like, so I shot at f2.8 at 1/25th of a second. I like how it looks. I like I concentrated on and focused on the middle wheel. So as you can see, the front wheel and the grass is a bit blurry, the middle is lovely and sharp, and the back again is nice and blurry. And I love this picture. I think it's come out really well. Again, the framing's a little bit off for some reason. The fact that I've cut off the wheel that's flat on the right hand side in the middle, I've cut off that end and it's annoying me. So if it had just tightly moved to the right, that would have been fine. But yeah, it's just a little bit annoying because I'd have liked that image. I'd have edited it properly. I'd have probably printed it, see what it looks like. But that's image number 7. After this one, I went to Bamford Edge via Hevisage, I believe it's pronounced. Had some chips. What I was trying to look for was the Little John's grave, but I couldn't really get parking much near where it was, so just got a chip butty, had a drink because it was the middle of the day, which was really nice. And then we moved on to Bamford Edge. So image 8 and 9 is of Lady Bower Bridge in the peaks. I took 2 shots here. Both of them was f22 and should be 1/30th of a second. The issue here is on the old-fashioned shutters cables, it screws off, and if you put it down it'll stick. So I didn't know whether that was going to affect the camera because it was a good 2 seconds before I noticed it, and then I clicked. Luckily it didn't affect it. The camera overshone it because it wasn't in bull mode, in a way. So these are the 2 images here. There's the first one, there's the second one. As you can see, they are more or less the same. Let me just click that. Here are the digital versions now. So as I say, these were both f22, 1/30th of a second. They're not the best images. It's a nice view. I've shot it 10, 20, 30 times before. Again, this was more just to check the app for the light meter and to make sure the colours. Again, on the images, there's a purple haze in the up in the sky, so obviously I can get rid of that in post-production, post-processing, sorry. But for some reason, it's just, there seems to be some purple haze in the DS Colour Labs scanning and editing, and I'm not sure why. So again, love to put these through the scanner and see how they look, which I'll probably do a re-video of this. Same with the images from last one, to see if I can save any of them. That's the quick snapshot of it there from the Instax. And then on the way down, anyone that's ever been to Bamford Edge, I parked, there's a little country road and you park up there near a farm, and it is just kind of like a little dirt path with loose soil kind of that goes down. And on one section there was a few little rocks that you just step down, which is probably maybe not even half a foot. Had my backpack on, had my tripod kind of just on the bit here, dangling down that in the bag, just on the arm strap at the bottom, like I do when it's easy and quick. And what I did, I had some Nike Pegasus 90s and they've got no grip on whatsoever. So what I did occasionally, I kind of just hopped the half a foot, if not, and when my feet hit the soil, whoosh, both of them went from under me and went flat out on my ass, and wow, did it hurt my lower back coccyx. The tripod hit the floor and flew up in the air and landed next to me. The bottom of my camera bag that I have has the waterproof thing, so there was a bit of cushion in there. And luckily, in the camera, in the pouch, I had this like this. So with the L bracket at the bottom, handle at the top. And what had happened is when I hit the floor, the L bracket hit, and because the tab wasn't screwed in properly, it judded. So it protected the camera, which was great. My issue is, because I was being lazy, I still had my cable release screwed in. And what happened is, the L bracket had jarred the screw of the cable release and snapped it. So in this, I don't know if you can see there's a tiny screw hole there where it goes in. I had about 3 or 4 mil of the end of the cable release stuck in, which wasn't great, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to use cable release for, I fucked it. And after that I was like, oh, I hope the camera's going to be okay. It was okay, the other images have come out great, so that's not an issue. When I got home, got this little knife out, stuck the end in, and I managed to screw it out, and then got a new cable release and it works fine, which is great. But I was like, oh, I didn't notice till I got back to my car and I checked the camera, and I was like, oh, the cable release is just loose. I was like, thank God for that. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, pardon my French. But luckily everything turned out okay. I was muddy because it was dry, fine, dusty mud, filthy, and my coccyx hurt for about 4 days afterwards, and every time I sat down I was in pain, and my missus was fed up with me by the end of it. But that's what happened. That's the story of me myself and why I got the new L bracket. Because on my L bracket, I don't know if you can see at the bottom there's a screw and you can move it up and down. On mine it's fixed because it's for me XT3, because I was using that one. So what I did, I went and bought this, I think it was $7.50, just a cheap generic one. Made sure I could screw it up and down, and then I've got enough space now. I've got a good centimetre for doing it, and I have learned to unscrew the cable release when I'm not shooting. So yeah, lesson learned there, and a lucky escape. So that was Bamford. After Bamford we went up to Mamtor, and then we couldn't get to Mamtor because it was so busy, because it was late in the day. It was about 2-3 o'clock at this point. So I parked up and just walked over the edge of Winnett's Pass. So I took 3 pictures of Winnett's Pass itself and the cliffs on it. Here's the first one, just of the looking down over Hope with a road going down. Here's the digital version. So this was f11 at 1/30th of a second. Again, it's come out quite well. There was a bit of a blue haze in the top right hand corner, as you can see. I think that's because that's where there was sun. If I took it again, I would have got the sky out and just had and lowered the camera a little bit. So that's number 10. So number 11, we then went just to the cliffs at the top. Here's number 11. As you can see there, it's not great. They were looking at the scanned the developed image there. Here's the digital version. Again, I was just trying to see how it would come out, checking my colours, what it looked like, checking the sharpness. Quite nice. You can tell the people on the top there. You can see a bit of the chimney. Again, there's a little purple hint in the sky with that one. That one's number 11, so that is again 160 of a second at f11. And then the next one now, which is this one. So this is going up when it's past that one is. It's a bit dark, that one, on the image that you can see on the printed one, but actually on the digital version you can quite see. So that one is f16, 1/25 of a second, and that one was handheld, which come out quite well, because I was worried that with it being bulky, how would handheld go, and I quite like it. The dots in the sky that you can see, they're actually not dust, they are paragliders, or one with the parachute that they run and jump off. I don't think that's paragliders, I think that's the one where it's flat. But yeah, they have them all over Mantor when it's nice. And then the next few images was me just walking back to the car, because I had 3 images left. As we were walking back all along the front, there was a couple of sheep and I saw these two. So I quickly measured with my phone, f12, so this was 5.6 at 1/500th of a second. As you can see, there's the printed version, here's the digital version. They were just the 2 sheep. I just focused on the sheep quickly, snapped the shot, and I really like it. You know, it's a nice little postcardy type shot with some animals in, which I really loved. When we got back to the car, across the road where there was a path, you could go in the path, and then there was a load of cows. I had 2 images left, so I was like, okay, let's get some handheld of the cows. So both of these are f8 at 1/250th of a second. Here's the first one. I did a close-up of this cow, so there's the printed one. Here is the digital version. I quite like it, the way it's looking at me. There's a few flies. Really do like this one. But the next one, this one, which again is f8 1/250th of a second. This is where I had a bit of light leak on the last image, and I think that, I don't know whether it's me doing it wrong or if it's the camera, because sometimes the last image is known for it, because on the last couple of rolls it's kind of been a thing where the last image is a bit. But here's the image. As you can see, the light leak is there. Here's the digital version. At first I thought, oh, it's ruined the shot. Oh, I really like the shot, but it's ruined it. But thinking about it, looking at the shot, yes, it's not going to be a portfolio shot. Yes, it's not going to be one that you print on your wall. But it does. It makes me smile, because I'm like, the cows look like they're looking at the light leak, and that like it's something beaconing them with the way they are. I did get a snapshot. Here's me Insta one. Yeah, and here's the printed digital version now. So overall, it was a successful trip. So the trip itself was, apart from falling over, was a good trip. The camera worked wonders. The new light meter app I'm using worked great. It looks like it does work well in the day. Need to retry it at night. I've got some Cinestill 800T that I'm going to try at Media City on the next video that we put together. So that'll be exciting, some night photography, see how it handles with a couple of seconds shutter time at the same time. But that'll be the next video after this one. But overall, I'm happy with how the images have come out, how the colours have come out, how the exposure is on them all. They all look like they were good exposure, and looking at the prints and the digital copies, it doesn't look like they've had to do too much editing once they've scanned them in. Obviously I'll know more when I scan them myself, so I can see how they look as a raw transformation. But overall, happy. So as I say, this one was, let me just read, so Kodak Portra 100. I'd use it again. I've heard some good things about the 400 and 800 versions. So I'll get the 400 one next, so then I can maybe do some more handheld shooting. Because after doing the 4 shots handheld here, as long as I think I'm over about 1/60th, 1/80th of a second, we should be good, and not get too much blurriness in it, especially with my shaky hands. Yeah, and I've got a lot of plans. So these first few videos are just, as I say, it's just going to be me testing the camera, seeing how it goes, testing films because I'm new to film, seeing which film's better. After that, the plan is to do some proper photography videos, blogs, get some get some projects on the go. I've got a couple of ideas for some different projects. Still umming them over if they're going to be working or not, or if they're worth it, or if people even be interested in that project. So we'll go from there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Any comments, feedback, anything, good, bad, indifferent, don't care, just give them me what your thoughts, how you think I could improve. Things along those lines, because like I say, for the film side, learning, it's only my second time using that camera. One thing I will say, on my last video, if anyone's watched that one, the Canon AV1 35mm camera that didn't work, I fixed it. The light meter inside is working now. I have put a roll of film through it when we went over to East Yorkshire in Bidlington last weekend, and I will be doing a video on that outcome when I get the images back. I know they've worked because I've got the digital copies already, I've just not got the actual printed version of them. So that's 2 videos that will be coming up probably in the next month or so. I'm going to try and do at least a video once a month, maybe even 2 if I can push them out. All depends whether, one, I can get the time, then get the time to process them, send them off to the labs, get them the negatives back. So, but we'll leave it there. Overall, happy with the way it went, can't grumble at all. I will see you next time, and thanks for watching.